Hi, everybody. This is Mr. Murray. And if you're watching this video, it's probably because somehow or other you've ended up with me as your teacher for this very, I think I'll go with interesting school year. No matter what kind of school year this will be, if you're my student, then it's my job to teach you about the entire world. That's right. This is World Cultures, and I will be doing my very best to cram at least a little bit of learning about every nook and cranny of our big, amazing, and unimaginably complex planet into a single school year. To put that task into perspective, consider this. If I were to spend just 1 day per country teaching you about every country in the world, the school year would be over before I could finish. This class is like crazy impossible to teach, and I can't even begin to tell you how much I love teaching it. After sixth grade, y'all will be back to learning about Texas and the United States, but for this one glorious year, I get to teach you about every corner of this beautiful blue and green jewel adrift in the cosmos. Whoa, I might have gotten a bit carried away there. I'm supposed to be making a video introducing myself. So, let me back up. Hi, I'm Mr. Murray, depicted here saying my catchphrase, "It's complicated." Actually, though, if you're not really feeling the whole Mr. Murray thing, you do have another option. Most of the kids I've taught in my years in Georgetown have called me Mr. Murray. That's what you'd expect, right? In America, we usually call our teachers Mr. or Ms. last name. The thing is, I didn't start out being a teacher in America. I became a teacher while I was living in China. And in China, calling a teacher by their last name like that, without a title, would be about as rude as if a kid in America walked up to their teacher and extended their middle finger right in the teacher's face. Instead, kids in China address their teachers by calling them teacher and then their first name. So, to my students in China, I was Teacher Jimmy. When I moved back to America and became a teacher here, I discovered that I missed kids calling me that. So I've always given my students a choice. You can address me like an American and call me Mr. Murray, or you can choose Chinese style and call me Teacher Jimmy. There's no mixing and matching. I'm not Mr. Jimmy or Teacher Murray, but hey, at least you've got a choice, right? Okay, now that all know what to call me, here's some random stuff about me. The famous one first. If you've heard of me before, there's a good chance you've heard me called the teacher with the sword. It's true, I might own a few different toy swords. Zelda swords, Minecraft swords, big ones, little ones, you know, swords. One of these days, I'll tell you the whole story of why I teach with swords, but for the moment, I'll say this. Every sword you'll ever see me use has been a gift from a student. Around Christmas time, when most teachers are getting Starbucks gift cards, some of my students will buy me new toy swords instead. As for why I have them, well, the simple answer is I realized I had a choice. I could be a teacher who doesn't have any swords, or I could be a teacher who gets to wave and swing and twirl swords around while he teaches. Which would you choose? I figure y'all probably have patience for maybe two more things about me. Let's see. How about something I love? Well, the thing I love second most in the universe is stories. I love telling stories. I love hearing stories. I love books. Before too long, I'll introduce you guys to Lone Wolf, a series of game books that I help publish for free online. They are epic. Trust me. I'm also a big fan of movies. I love all sorts of movies. Everything from modern superhero movies to silent films made more than 100 years ago. I love American movies, and I also have films in more than 20 different languages from countries all across the globe. I've actually got more than 2,000 movies on DVD and Blu-ray. Don't believe me? Here's my list of movies I own sorted alphabetically. Have fun trying to read that, y'all. Finally, I love video games. I've been playing video games for more than 3 decades now. For my old school gamer cred, I can get all the way to the final boss in the original Zelda without ever picking up a sword. If you want something more modern, well, I beat Cuphead right before the school year started. You have my permission to bask in my gaming awesomeness. Anyway, it's about time for me to wrap this up. So I'll close with this. This is the picture I've been using for myself this whole video. It was drawn by one of my students from last year, and he even drew me saying, "It's complicated." I'm going to be saying that a lot this year, but I don't mean it in the way a lot of adults will use it. When I was a kid, if I asked a question and a grown up told me, it's complicated, it usually meant either they didn't know the answer or they really didn't feel like explaining. When I tell you that something is complicated, it means that it's something we're going to tear into and figure out. In my experience, sixth grade is the age at which most kids are ready to start understanding all of the super complicated issues that make up our world as an adult rather than just as a kid. And I am so excited that I'm going to get to be the first person to introduce you all to the nuance and complexity that we humans have managed to create in our time on this planet. I'm really looking forward to it, and I hope you are too. What about y'all? Do you have any questions about me? I put a link in the description doobly doo down below the video. If you have any questions about me, ask them there, and I'll see what I can do about getting some of them answered. Until then, I'll sign off by saying, stay safe and stay healthy.